What's up?
What? Did you even need a cut there?
Where are we here in the build?
Just securing the front diff in here, diff housing.
Okay.
We just kind of set it in there when we finished off there the other day. And
it's time to secure it and move on.
Yeah, time to put it in, and then we'll work on the front links and be done with it.
Okay, so I am going to move ahead in the booklet, and here is the center diff. Check that out. Amazing. Now, we did check the instruction book. It does say to add black grease to the inside of the O-ring. So we've taken apart the diffs and we've made sure that we've got that in there properly. It helps prevent leaks. So moving on, I'm looking at the center diff carrier and I'm just kind of leaving out, or I'm lining up the pieces that I need to get them together. What does Santa's goodie bag have for me today? Okay. Brake setup, brake shoes, basically. Pretty neat, hey? For people that haven't seen these before, what an interesting setup that these radio control trucks have been coming out with over the years. Amazing. So these are pressure-based plates. So they're gonna squeeze this disc to help slow the whole machine down from the center of the machine. So for the folks that are still new to building kits, I wanted to give you a hand. Notice how the parts are laid out here. We got the screws, we have the two pressure plates, two springs in between, then the mounting plate here with two nuts. On the other side, it's identical going the other way. So what I do is I lay it out on the table. Let's see if I can move it up here so you can see the full area, where everything is laid out, and basically it's just gonna squeeze together just like in the manual. So manual off to the side. If I'm looking at this, these two go through the holes, the posts line up, then we have a set of springs, then we have the other pressure plate on the other side.
Can we talk about how much nicer those are than the Losi 5T brakes? They actually have pads on them and spring loaded to release. Like, just amazing.
Can't ignore that, man. There we go, the way they screw in. Just want to make sure that I have it the right way. I don't, I have it backwards right there. Oh, I'm glad I checked. Easy to check because the nuts are actually countersunk in the plastic right there. So I'll know that the plate goes this way. Here we go. And just start to tighten those up, giving them a pre-hand tighten. There's one, now I'll do the other side. Slide it through. Yes, 40 mils.
Where'd you put your...
Micrometer?
Yeah.
Might be back in the toolbox, bud.
All right, so I'm moving forward on the links for the front here. The steering and as well as the camber links. So you just gotta kind of screw it together. It's a bit of a pain to start. Once it goes though, you can start threading it a bit quicker. Except it just wants to be a total pain with mosquitoes in here. Apparently, I have to struggle.
So you're putting together links right now.
Yeah.
And what's the problem here?
Oh, you just got to use quite a bit of pressure as you push in because these are not threaded.
They're not?
No, they come unthreaded.
Do you want my tap and die set?
No, you don't need to thread it. You just need to push, and then what I'll do is I'll stick a like a screwdriver end in here, and then I'll just twist it on the rest of the way. Just got to get it started.
So you're going to try and just force it.
Gonna man it up!
If you want to put it in the vise and push down on it, that may be better.
That would definitely be better, but I got it here.
Okay, good.
Or not.
Just put it in the vise. Take the advice.
I just don't like to scuff it up, man.
You're not going to scuff it up. This will just give you at least some downward force.
All right.
You sure you don't want my tap and die set?
Yeah, we're good.
This looks like a pleasant part of the hobby. Would you like to borrow my tap and die set?
No!
Tap and die set.
I just was going the wrong way. Don't tell anybody.
Were you going backwards?
Bam! This one went easy.
I will
First
be
one
using
impossible.
an M6
Second easy.
bit.
Talk over him. Louder.
So easy just to start the threading process right here.
Needs to be 40 millimeters for the link on the inside of the plastic
For those that don't know and they haven't seen, what kind of tool are you using right now?
This would be a fancy handy dandy micrometer, and as you can tell, I'm nowhere near that at 53. So I'll be screwing that in and going a little further.
This isn't the most exciting part that we've done before.
No, that's why I said when I started, I can't wait to do the links. So exciting.
We should give them something exciting.
Dance off?
No.
Oh, better.
Nothing too crazy.
Boys and their toys.
Just a little bit of fun. Oh, it's back in the helmet.
And then straight back to it. Everett putting the links in now that they're built.
What? Where'd you go?
Hey, we always need a break, eh? Come back, fresh mind. Oh, apparently it didn't help there though.
Yeah, I don't know, my drill no longer
holds the bits. That's an MIP bit.
That is.
Everett, finally,
my favorite one.
Let's tell everybody where we get our drill bits. Hey, there's a few places. We mentioned that we like the factory team right here. The MIP drill bits, the hex bits, as well as the bits from Dave's Motors.
That's right. These ones.
Yeah, these ones. That's davesmotors.com.
We're the MIP.
MIP,
yeah, that's what we use.
which are
combination
amazing. Yeah. Nice.
Here we go.
Yeah, perfect.
All right.
Link installed.
And I already put the nut into the plastic on this side.
Just gonna line up the eyelet, put the screw through. Okay, as Everett's working on links, I continue to work on the center diff setup. Part of this setup, of course, is getting the braking assembly put in place, which means I've got to get the throttle arms and everything also in place. So collar, spring, the assembly here where we set it up, and another collar where we can actually put the end point for this rod. And I'm going to keep going here so I can put all this together and then hand it to Everett in one solid piece to install. So we're going to call our buddy John, who's already put together one of these rigs. He has have some experience with this, so let's get him on the horn and see what he thinks here.
Oh, Everett doesn't know. I've never threaded that part before.
Well, we'll see if he's got any ideas. John.
Yes.
It's Aaron. How are you?
Good.
Good. Man, we got a question because we're putting together the Losi 5B and we know you already put together a killer one. We need some advice on the brake cam setup.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
The diagram shows that you screw those little blue things onto the threads. That is not true.
Ah, so we don't have to take out a tap and die and do these?
No. You just move them you adjust them to what it says from the black plastic. The black sticking through the plastic. You screw it into there.
Okay.
So the diagram's wrong then, because the diagram shows the threaded end goes through
that's right.
the blue collar.
And then that's pretty much that piece assembled with the collar. Okay, so look at. Okay, so here, this is us being not looking properly.
It's not looking. Oh, we're pro stars.
Right down here. This is exactly what John was talking about, and everybody's yelling at the screen right now. The picture's right here. Dum-dums.
Dum-dums.
So this is actually the picture where it shows that you thread it in right here. Up here it can be a bit confusing. It looks like you're supposed to put the rod through the collar and thread it through, but you're not. Check out the picture down here in the completed area where the collars slide down the rods right here into the threaded area that's already done in the black plastic. 46.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Just tighten it. Grab this wrench.
Yeah, sure. Loctite's already in?
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, Everett is finishing up that area. I have already done the center diff carrier right here. The rods for the throw of these rods right here are all set up, and we're going to assemble this and that and put it in the truck. Center diff coming together. Kind of a one-man show here as it all gets pieced together. Look at that. Beautiful. How's that top one there? Is that lined up?
No, we need to twist it down.
How much further?
Right about there. Ooh, smooth.
Yeah, super nice.
Look how smooth that is. New.
Yeah, new, unwarped, unbent. So here, this is what I was talking about, putting the drive shaft in before you mount this up, because you mount it up and you're like, oh, I forgot the drive shaft. Hey, I heard you needed the D-bag.
D-bag.
Yeah, D-bag. All right, so rear dog bones. Basically, this section is a replica of the front.
Where's that grease? Can you hand me the tube of grease somewhere on your side?
Forward, buddy. Black grease.
Right
thank
here.
you. Okay, dog bones. Here we go. Pins. There's two different sizes of pins here. The collars for the boots. These are really important to, this is something new that we haven't seen before either. These collars actually go over the rubber boots to help protect the CVDs and help keep the grease inside and the dust out. We'll get to that. So here are the CVDs right here. What is it that you do not like? Explain.
I'll show it actually.
Yeah, okay.
It's these snap rings over top of this right here. And there's an easier way to do it and a harder way, so I'll try and do it the easier way, but it's not necessarily easier.
Snap rings hold, what are they holding in place?
They hold the drive shaft onto the differential right here.
Okay, okay.
One of the things that I find easier, I don't know, it might even be in the directions, but no, I mean it just tells you really just a giver.
That's about as Canadian as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, you can put this on and attach it to here first. I find that's the harder way to do it. I like to attach it this way first. I mean, I'm sure everybody's got their own ways to do it.
I'll take the pins. How are you enjoying those snap rings, Ev?
Well, this one's always the easiest. Especially when I find that's how I like to do it anyways. Like that only took me a minute to do that one.
Good.
Here comes the more difficult one that...
Why is it more difficult?
I don't know. I think it's just because it's hard to grip anything to kind of get it on there.
Sure, sure.
You know? Alright, moving on to putting the diff inside the case now. As you can tell, I got the snap rings on there. These hook tools are amazing. These are what I use to do it. I don't know, this time took me maybe 2 minutes. I had the whole one side done in a minute, on the other 3 minutes. Much quicker. All right, next I'm gonna put these bearing holders on there. They're kind of in a raced where the bearing can spin on the diff kind of there. So you can see the diff case has a recess where the one side will sit in there.
Yes, the deeper side.
The deeper side, so that's the side I start with.
It's a very interesting bearing holder, I see.
It goes like that, and now I gotta spin the other side. Let's get that back into its grooves. This side into its grooves.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right, push her down, there we go.
Where did Mr. Blue Handled Factory Clean go?
Done! Dun, 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 dun.
Yes, not these ones. I'm looking for this.
No, different.
Oh, right, because they're not steering.
Straight into the arm, correct.
Right on. Perfect, easy. Holding it on one side, ratcheting the other.
So we're about to set the inserts now for the, if you look in the book here, it says rear anti-squat.
Adjustment.
And rear toe,
Yep.
okay? I think I'm actually gonna go with a 3-degree toe in the center, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm also gonna follow, I think the gray is what they're suggesting.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a 2-degree anti-squat. I think, you know, something that's different because they went with spacers is you can change the anti-squat on this very easily by changing the spacers. Where the old style for the Losi 5T, you had to actually change the rear plate out completely to change the squat.
Right.
So that's a nice new change in here as well.
Yeah, letting you tune it.
Easier tuning for sure on the go.
You know, one thing I was reading, Everett, is that this was based off of the Losi 8 chassis.
Yeah, I think so. I think they just made it bigger.
I have one of those. It's hanging on the wall. It's been a long time since I used it, but look at this. It's almost identical. There's the center diff in the middle. They've basically, it looks like upscaled it. What are we going to call that?
That's the rear wing mount and shock tower.
The wing mount on the shock tower with the body post is going onto the differential housing. Already the center brace has been installed here as well. Hand tightening just to make sure it's not too tight. You don't want to fracture any of the plastic there or weaken it. It's going to have enough of that when it's out on the racetrack.
That's right.
Is that how it'll go? Or
Yeah, we can do it at the same time. And
look how many parts there are.
There's quite a few
This
involved.
is for the shocks.
Yep.
2 sets
Fronts,
of shocks.
rears.
Yep. Fronts and rears. Yeah, well it says right on it to oil it.
Yeah. And then the plastic bushing in between. And another rubber.
There you go, Everett.
Thanks, buddy.
I win.
So it's all fun and games to rush to the end of a shock build, but really when you're doing a proper build, you gotta take your time, make sure all the air bubbles are out from the inside of that shock oil. So we're suspending the shock housing right there with the shaft out. The shock oil has been filled to the top, and inside, I don't know if you guys can see it, yeah, kinda, there are air bubbles that are in there rising to the top right now. Now these are bleeder valve tops, correct?
Yep.
Bleeder valves, do you want to explain how this actually works so they understand?
Well, bleeder valves to help you bleed the air out at the end, so the air that would be trapped in between the cap and the oil as it goes on, right? So basically what you want to do is after you get all the air bubbles out and your oil is topped up to the very top, you're going to compress the shock all the way down until the last drop of oil comes out, then screw it in, you know you got no air.
Correct.
And then you can pull your shaft back out and you should be able to move it top to bottom smooth.
Right, and that's that hole that we can see in the top here is where the screw actually goes in and seals it off.
That's right.
I went to mount up the shock and I actually didn't have this cap with the bleeder valve pointing up to the front. And of course, if you want to adjust this later on, it would be a real pain to have to get in there. So just make sure that these are facing the front if you're building this kit. So shock and then the washer and then the nut on the other side.
This is the reverse threaded screw that goes in. There's one for each front and back. So it spins counterclockwise to go in.
Yeah.
Then on the other side, it's the reverse, clockwise to go in.
Battery trays going in.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Freaking mess to clean up.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of shrapnel. Starting to look like a rig, Ev.
Yeah, it is.
It's your rig, man. Last wheel. Sweet deal. Here you go.
So what do we got with the wing?
Looks like you got to put this part on it, so it needs a bunch of nuts. And I'm guessing it goes like that and catches some air for some downforce.
Nice. Big Red finally getting the wing mounted up here.
Almost finished.
Final process of a long build. How many hours, because the viewers really don't get how many hours we put in to build this. How many do you think total, realistically?
No. Realistically, we're close to 6.
Yeah,
between
about
2 of us.
Yeah, 6 hours. That's about right.
But I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say because we goofed around.
Yeah, we're at camera, you know, just having fun. But if you like just went down to it, you could probably get it done in 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 to 8 hours, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Wow, what a monster machine, dude. It covers most of the table. It really is impressive, man. Wow.
It is really cool. I can't wait to run it. Like, stoked. I need my engine.
Yeah.
Should I bring the body?
Sure, man.
Show what it looks like on there.
Into the sun for the first time. Well, there it is, my friends. Everett's new Losi 5-B. Tell us about it, Everett. What do we got here?
It's the new TLR 5B, and I'm stoked. We got a few things left to do, though. As you guys can see, we still need to put the engine in and run the fuel lines. There's a plate that goes up here and the throttle brake servo. I'm going to do that all when I put the engine in.
Yeah.
Of course, I still got to also paint the body.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool, man.
But let's give it a gist of what it looks like here.
Yeah, it certainly is a monster, Ev. Now, I know people will be asking for size comparison because it's really hard to tell on camera what it looks like, but here's the Losi DBXL, okay? Drop her in there, Ev, we can have a look at it. Bam! There it is. So it's a little bit ahead, and as I move around the vehicles, you'll actually see how it kind of makes them change in size, perspective-wise. Still looks like the Buggy's bigger, and then all of a sudden the DBXL kind of takes over. Which one do you think is bigger?
Size. I'd say they're almost identical. I mean, they're both Buggies, right? So
There, an overhead shot for you guys. Pretty awesome, my friends. All right, so there you have it. We're done. Everything is done. His Buggy is ready to rip for the weekend. Well, up to this point, bro, high five.
as far as I can get.
Thanks for doing all the extra effort for these guys so that they could see the new race kit setup. And guys, until next time, if you've enjoyed the show today, please give us a like, click. Maybe we've even earned your subscription, but if you've been inspired to get out and have some fun with the RC hobby, then our job is done today.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next time. Get outside and have some fun with RC.
Yell at me for all the mistakes.
Bye. Bye.